Blood is thicker than water, but it can also be filled with pain, toxicity, and humiliation. If you're a sensitive being, dining amongst those who have not yet awakened can be challenging. You may feel as though you're the odd man out, or as if you just don't fit within the family in which you've landed. But no matter what family you found yourself part of, it can be challenging. Let's face it, relationships don't come with instruction manuals, so they're for the most part learn as you go experiences. Even the best intentions can be misunderstood, and you can feel as though you'd rather be anywhere else than sitting around the table with your family. Welcome, everyone. It's Marcia Martin, the Heart Healer, here with you on Angel Heart Ready Radio. And if you're ready to learn how to have a happy holiday experience, then stay with me. When we come back, we're going to discover how to survive the holidays with your relatives.
Angel Heart Radio programs should not be used to replace your legal or medical advice, nor your own sound judgment. In truth, nothing can dim your magnificence. You are a divine spark, a universal light. You are here on purpose. You are part of a divine plan. And it's our joy to support you. We're here to celebrate you. Welcome to Angel Heart Radio. Powered by love, Angel Heart Radio is brought to you by AngelLight777.com. Put the power of the spiritual realm to work in your life with Marcia Martin on Angel Heart Radio starts now.
So here we are looking at Thanksgiving, which you're here in the U.S. with me, falls on this Thursday. Traditionally, we have a big meal and you sit around the table with people that you may not like. So, is it going to be feast or failure in your home this Thanksgiving Day? Well, let's look at that. Holidays don't always bring happiness, and for the empath, holidays can feel like a death sentence. But they don't have to. You don't have to fall into the same pattern that you may have been experiencing all of the other holidays leading up to this one. So instead of asking yourself the questions, what am I doing wrong? Why do these people hate me? Why can't they just leave me alone? Understand, first of all, that you as an empathic being are sensitive. You are natural helpers and fixers. You can sense other people's feelings. You're good listeners, you're good peacemakers, and you're willing to put up with abuse. But you don't always realize that you don't have to. That's what I want you to understand today. You can keep the peace and not experience abuse in your life. Now, if you are like so many other empaths that I have worked with, and myself included, you believe when you are untrained or new to the energetic realm that the only way for you to keep the peace is for you to also accept the abuse. Just you'll do anything. You'll agree to anything. You will allow others to do whatever they need to do just so you can have a peaceful time, or you can feel a little bit better about being in the room with them. Now, the problem with that thinking is you're never going to feel better because you're still going to be picking up all of the emotions that are swirling around in the room, all of these energies that you did not create. So, as an empath, you need to understand how to prepare and how to go into a family gathering or really any crowd situation. Just because you can feel the pain doesn't mean that you are in any way contributing to it. So, oftentimes, the empath will try hard not to create more pain. They can feel that something is going wrong or that they are in the midst or among people who are hurting extremely, and they will do anything in order to make that lessen, to make it easier for the people that are there in the room with. Here's where we get into trouble. Here's the problem. Because you are not creating the pain and it doesn't belong to you, you cannot get rid of it for someone else. So you are accepting treatment, abusive treatment, or dismissive treatment, or unkind treatment that you believe is necessary for the other person not to feel so bad. But it doesn't stop the other person from feeling the pain, so you've given up your sense of well-being and accomplished nothing. So today we're going to learn how to get prepared for a gathering. And now we have our first caller, and as always, because this is a public forum, you need to tell me a name, but it does not have to be your given name. So whatever name you feel comfortable with people hearing. So calling from 731. How can I help you? Oh, it's not, hang on. There we go. How can I help you through your Thanksgiving dinner or any holiday gathering or even being in a crowd?
Oh, Marcia, Jeff here.
Hi, Lovey.
I need the groups. I need to draw the law of attraction. There's this gig, a musical gig that I want really bad, and it's at the guest house of Graceland on the Lawn in Memphis, Tennessee. And I want this gig so bad. It's for a solo jazz guitar player. I bid the job with the event coordinator, and now I'm just waiting. And I thought I might ask your advice and the group's help to attract this gig to me somehow.
Okay, so this is brilliant. Thank you, Jeff, for bringing this to us. Let's approach this with the same strategy that we need to approach going into any gathering. So the first thing you're going to do is make sure you are grounded and shielded. Now, why would you need to do that in order to manifest? Well, here's the thing. When we ground ourselves, we are aligning our energy with the energy. You know, Jeff, there's a little bit of playback.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, how about that? Yes, that was my mic. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. So when we are grounding our energy, we are aligning ourselves with the energy of Mother Earth, and that is the energy of rebirth and renewal. So it is giving ourselves permission to constantly become new as the situation evolves, because we don't want to approach a situation either static or stale, especially when we want to manifest something or we're going into any kind of gathering. We want to be able to flow with the energy that we find there, and we want to stay aligned with that which is for our highest good. So being able to constantly renew ourselves It gives us the ability to actually be more mobile. So it's called grounding because we are engaging with the energy of Mother Earth, but it really makes us much more fluid, flowing, and mobile than we would be if we try to do it in our own power. The other thing we need to do is align with the heavens so that we make sure that we are accessing the energy that will guide us toward our highest good. So we always assume that when we have found desire, it is in alignment with our highest good. In other words, it is what something that God has chosen for us to help move us forward in our life journey. However,
Yes.
we by aligning ourselves with the divine instead of just saying I know better, and by grounding ourselves, we stay in this beautiful place where we can be guided. So we're always available to do or say or be in the right place at the right time. So make sure anytime that you are thinking about this gig, you're coming from this solid place of being grounded and aligned. And in that way, you're constantly renewing the energy of your desire without going into a place of desperation. So I want you to stop saying, oh, I hope so, or I really want to get this. And because that sounds like desperation.
Yes.
And we do that when we feel like it's something that we really want, and perhaps
Yes.
we're not good enough, or we don't have enough experience, or we're up against a whole bunch of people. Instead, I just want you to relax into the place where you can say with confidence, if this gig is for my
Yes.
highest good,
Yes.
it will flow easily to me. I have
Yeah.
the talent. Now, here's another thing. If you are a beginner and you're trying to play at the professional level, it's not likely that you can create the energy that will allow you to step into a place of ownership. So let's not be sad if we are just beginners and we are setting ourselves up. I want to manifest this gig. It's a
Yes.
professional gig. It
Yes.
is requires talent. It requires showing up as a professional. And
Yes.
if you are just beginning, you
Yes.
need to seek for yourself opportunities that match your skill level. They can
Yes.
be stretches, you can stretch, but trying to go from beginner to professional is just not realistic and
Yes.
would embarrass you and would not it would not be for your highest good. If anything, it would probably encourage you to quit. So the likelihood that you're going to be able to manifest, that is not good. So for those
Yes.
of you who don't know Jeff, Jeff has been playing professionally for many, many years. He understands, he's comfortable in front of crowds, he is not going to make a mistake or make the venue that's hired him feel regretful that they've done it. He's got a professional capacity and can
Right.
continue for the length of time that they need him. So it's a stretch for him to get this gig because it's a
Yes.
highly sought after
Yes.
position,
Yes.
but it's not out of the realm of his ability. So therefore, I can say to Jeff, you've got to get into your place of knowingness,
Yes.
which is I know that I am up to this professional challenge. I know that I am skilled enough. I know that I have practiced enough. I know that I have done the work necessary to make this happen. And now, from that place of knowing,
Yes.
you can manifest for or against yourself. So you're in this centered place where you say, okay, I'm being honest with myself. One of the things that we always need to do, and this is so important, before you sit down at that holiday table or you put your name forward for a gig, is
Yes.
begin engaging in self-loving behavior. People can only see you as you see yourself. So if you see yourself as fat, ugly, and too old, people cannot see you as vibrant, the right weight, and whatever age, and
Yes.
just a fun age to be around. You've already decided they need to see you as fat, what did I say? Fat, ugly, and too old. So
Yes. Yes.
you have to make sure that the image that you are projecting is one of self-love. You don't have to be the most attractive person or the youngest or the smartest or the wisest. You just have to feel good about you and able to collaborate with the help of the divine in your success. So for Jeff wanting to manifest this, and for all of you who are dreading going to the holiday gathering because you know Aunt Millie is going to say, oh, you're wearing that or something like that, get busy now and start seeing yourself as a success. How do you do that? Get your mental screen. So with your third eye, project for yourself with your eyes closed, your third eye fully open, project, create for yourself a huge mental screen and project onto that screen a movie of your success. So you see yourself getting the call. Jeff, we'd like you to play the gig. Be here at 4 o'clock. You see yourself getting in your car, smoothly driving to the gig, getting set up, doing the sound checks, doing everything that you need to do. And then you see yourself performing better than you ever have. And you see a wonderful rapport with the audience, and they love you, and you're able to really align with them in a way that perhaps has never been possible. You keep running this mental movie over and over and over again. Every time it comes to mind, you run this mental movie of how successful this evening is going to be, how great you feel, how qualified you feel to be at this event. Now, if you are not comfortable feeling qualified, if you are not comfortable playing in front of a crowd, get busy doing the work you need to do so you can feel comfortable, because otherwise you're going to self-sabotage this beautiful manifestation that was on its way to you. So how does that apply to those who are about to go to a holiday party, get together, Thanksgiving meal, and feel really uncomfortable? Well, you've got to create a mental movie of your day going well. Perhaps you have a favorite outfit, or perhaps you can just see yourself feeling good and laughing and relaxing and being a good listener. What we need to remember is, as empaths, we are natural givers. Yes, we are going to be giving more probably than anyone else at the event, unless it's an event filled with empaths. And then everybody's going to be giving and feeling wonderful. But Instead of keeping score, just get into that place where you say, I am choosing to go to this event and give because that will allow me to have the greatest time. Now, for Jeff, he's choosing to go to this event and play better than he's played any time before.
Yes.
It may be not as well as he's going to play next time, but it will be the best that he can play right now. Now, why do you want to always present the best? Because that's going to allow you to have no pushback in your energetic field. When we align, when we're grounded and we say, okay, I'm constantly going to renew, I'm going to be present in this moment and be fresh for this moment, and I'm going to align with the divine so that I am receiving the most incredible downloads from the divine, this wonderful connection that guides me and directs me into the truth that I need to understand so that I can present my best. When you are in that state, you become uplifted, you become filled, you become better than you've ever been before. You reap the benefit of that interaction. So you're not doing it for other people. They also benefit, but your primary reason for doing it is for you.
Yes.
This is not selfish. This is actually the ultimate act of selflessness, because when you are at your best, whether it's performing or just being in a gathering and being your normal, charming, wonderfully good-hearted presence, you benefit because it will feel good to you, and everyone around you benefits because they are recipients of the love that you are sharing. Not romantic love. We're not talking about going to hit on somebody or try having flirty interactions. No, this is unconditional love. This is love that you pour out onto everyone in the group so that everyone that is open and is willing to receive this love feels better about who they are and where they are. And that is the true service that an empath can bring to every gathering. Now, there are a couple caveats. And Jeff, this would also go for you.
Yes.
I know that it is not unusual for performers or for an empath to try to relax with drugs or alcohol either before or during the party or the performance. I want you to understand that even though it may feel as though that's enhancing your connection to the divine, it's really creating an artificial kind of barrier. And I want you to get used to going to things clean, but go shielded. So instead of using drugs or alcohol as an artificial barrier between you and whatever you're experiencing, I want you to go clean, go grounded and connected to the divine, but also go shielded. So here's what I mean by shielding. Shielding is not just I hope so. Shielding is an active, energetic exercise that you need to do if you are a sensitive person. So allow the grounding to come up into your heart. Allow the divine connection to come down through the higher self point and meet at your heart. From the heart center, tap completely into the energy of unconditional love and the security that you feel from being in a constant state of renewal, and allow that energy to flow out from your heart and begin permeating the auric field that is all around you. So you would want to keep generating this energy of unconditional love until you can feel that it reaches out about to the end of your fingertips when they're extended to either side of you.
Oh, neat. Yeah.
This means now that you have sort of an impenetrable barrier. So let's say you are going to this gathering.
Yes.
Or for Jeff, in your case, you're playing. And
yes, event. Yeah, event.
Okay. And Aunt Mabel, if you're at the party, Aunt Mabel, what are you wearing? Or someone in the crowd, that song, somebody tries to start up with negativity. Well, if you go in unshielded, it's going to feel like a lance to the heart, and you can't wait to get off stage or to get to that drink or to find some way to get away from the pain. But if you go filled with unconditional love, first of all, it's very unlikely that comment or that negative response will come forward. But even if it does, that negativity is going to reach the end of your auric field, and it will be transformed into unconditional love, because love is stronger than hate, and it will be sent back out to the recipient, who has the choice whether to receive the love or reject it. If they reject it, it will simply go to whomever else is needing love at that time. But generally, what happens when we go into situations well shielded and having done the prep work? So if your usual before dinner ritual is to take some drugs or drink or do something in order to get your nerves under control, I want you to try a new approach. Spend time in meditation. And this is not prayer where you are asking God for things. Just sit quietly and ask the Holy Spirit to bring you the energy of unconditional love. For me, it comes in the form of Jesus or the Christ light. So those of you who are seers may see the image of Jesus, or perhaps the Buddha, or any of these other beings that are just love. Allow that energy to permeate every aspect of your being. Wrap it around you like a cloak or a blanket. So instead of needing an artificial substance that can give you a bad reaction, wrap yourself, cocoon yourself in this energy of unconditional love that protects you, fills you, uplifts you, strengthens you, gives you courage, and has absolutely no side effects. And then as you go into the gathering, this energy that you've wrapped around you, that you've called into your being, precedes you, and it begins doing the work for you. So you will find that you attract the conversations that are loving and kind. You attract the fans that can't wait to hear more. You begin attracting the places to play that can't get enough of your talent because they are able to receive this love. And those who have chosen not to receive begin receding into the background until it is unusual for you to encounter them at all. Yes, there will be occasions where you will run into some people who are having a tough day. Shoot them with some unconditional love. Just open your heart and pour it all over them. Wrap them in blankets of unconditional love and give them an opportunity to soften. Understand that most people who are coming at you negatively are doing so because they feel defensive about some part of their life or themselves. Something about them or their lives feels horrible. And they're under the misguided notion that if they can make your life miserable, that will somehow make their lives better. I used to be extremely sarcastic. It was my defense mechanism, as I would walk into any gathering completely unshielded, no grounding, so I'm floating around in the energetic realm because my preparation had basically been, I'm so scared, I don't want to go. Do I really have to go? I look ugly, I feel overweight. I had a whole litany of things that were wrong with me. So I'm flying around in outer space trying to connect to the energetic realm, but I haven't checked myself. I haven't tapped into the energy of the earth, the grounding, solid renewal energy. So I'm going in slightly panicked and completely surprised when all I hear are people probably more panicked than I am, complaining about something or asking me to fix it or complaining about me. Oh, why would you wear that? Or why would you do that? Or what were you thinking? And I'm, at that time, I was really good at being sarcastic. I could cut you right down, but then I could feel your pain, and it absolutely undid me. So I would then have to fall all over myself trying to make you feel better because I had been the one that had caused you to feel even worse than you were already feeling. It's a no-win situation, and it makes for the most miserable socializing on the planet. But if you go in prepared, if you go into work prepared, if you go into a performance prepared, if you go into a family gathering prepared, and by prepared I mean grounded, connected to the divine and shielded, you are going in from a place of confidence and a place of love. And then you find that people will come to you and say, you always look so lovely or so calm or so loving, and I just need to know what you're doing because my life isn't going well, or I could really use some help. It's so easy to connect with people from that place of, I really need to come to the place that you have brought yourself, instead of, oh, what were you thinking? That used to be my life. I understand why you want to fight back, but now my life is, I'm so glad you're here. I really needed to talk with you, or I just wanted to get your opinion, or you look so lovely. I just want to thank you for coming.
Yes.
It is so easy to enjoy yourself from the when you walk into the room broadcasting unconditional love, and
Yes.
so impossible to survive when you walk in broadcasting frantic, everybody's going to hate me, I hate
Yes.
me, and I
Yes.
don't want to be here.
All
So
right.
it doesn't matter whether you are Jeff seeing yourself in a performance. Yes, Jeff is going to be nervous. He's going to have excited nerves. He's going to know that there's a possibility that he could stumble. But you know
Oh
what?
yeah.
He's not going to focus on that. He's going to know that's a possibility. He could hit a wrong note.
Oh, it's
But you know,
good. Yeah.
but
That's good
even
to
if
have
that
energy.
should, yes, even if that should happen, if you are grounded, shielded, and aligned with the divine, you will
Yes.
have the presence of mind to move right through it. You don't
Right.
have to call attention to it. Let's say that you are, again, back at your holiday dinner and you tell a joke that just falls flat. Let it
Yes.
go. You don't have to call attention to your failure. Instead, I want you to be so imbued with the energy of winning. But let me qualify that. I don't mean the energy of competition.
Yes.
Competition is the energy of if I win, you have to lose. Most
Oh.
empaths are going to buckle under that kind of pressure. That puts a lot of negative energy in the room because
Yes.
now the good feeling can only belong to one person. So the
Yes.
empath is going to get frantic and try to find a way to make it smooth that over. Well, if you go in with the energy of winning, go in with the energy of cooperation. It will all win together. Instead of, oh, only one of us is going to feel good, set the intention that everyone is going to have an enjoyable time, you included.
Yes.
I would imagine. And Jeff, I'm sure in the beginning of your performing career, you went in there. I hope so. I hope so. I hope so. I hope they like me. I don't know if I'm good
Yes.
enough.
Yes. Oh yeah.
And as you got better, or as you had more opportunity to perform, you were able to go in there saying, I am a talented performer, and my goal is to share what I am able to do so we all win. So it doesn't have to be Jeff is the star. Jeff is the star. But the people in the audience can be stars as well because they can receive something incredibly wonderful and feel uplifted and delighted and inspired. So, whether you're the performer or you're the listener, go into the event assuming that you're going to win. And let's face
Yes.
it, if you are an empath, you are one of the best listeners on the planet. It is so important to you that everybody feel good that you're really going to listen to people or perform for people as though you care. So you walk into that gathering, you are walking in, and unconditional love is going before you. And then I really need to talk to you, someone says. Or have you got a second?
Yes.
Be
Yes.
the most incredible listener you've ever been. Honor people with your presence. Show them that
Yes.
they matter by really being there for them. And
Yeah.
so, how does that translate for Jeff? If Jeff is thinking about the next song or what he's the next gig or what he's going to do later. It
Yes.
will show in his music. You've got to be here
Yes.
in this moment. It doesn't
Yes.
matter where you performed yesterday. It doesn't matter how last Thanksgiving went with your family. The only thing that matters is this particular moment that you are experiencing right now. And your job is to make it as an enjoyable a moment as you possibly can, not just for them, for you as well. When you learn to include yourself instead of excluding yourself, because let's face it, as empaths, we felt like outsiders and we were really good at finding ways to hide. Either it was in the corner talking to the plant or the animals. A lot of people say, I usually find the animals and just go hide with the animals. So,
Yes.
hide in the corner with the plant, hide with the animals, hide with the children. Stop hiding. Stop
Right.
going medicated. Instead, go shielded and prepare to be present because you are grounded and you're fresh, you're new in every moment. And you have prepared. Prepare. See that movie, that ongoing success story. Whenever you think about attending the event or the dinner, see it as a success. Things can never become more than you are willing to allow them to be. So here's the really important part, is the ownership part of it. It's not somebody else's fault that you didn't have a nice time or that Jeff didn't get the gig. We've got to own it. We have to understand that if we are not willing to own this thing that we desire, we will never possess it. So, get in your heart space. When you say to yourself, Jeff, I am really excited about performing on the grounds of the Elvis estate. Are you
Yes.
able to own it, or are you feeling, is that little voice popping up saying, oh, Jeff, are you kidding? You're not good enough. What's happening in your heart space when you say, I'm really excited about this gig? I can feel it, taste it, eat it, claim it. It's mine.
Yes.
What comes up? Which way are we going?
It's fine. Yeah.
Okay. Now, let's
It's fine.
pretend.
Yeah.
Okay, but let's just pretend, because we want to give as much help as we can. Let's pretend instead that Jeff said, I'd really like it, but I don't know. I just don't think I'm good enough. Okay.
Yeah.
Now you know you have something to work with. You've got to clear it, heal it, and transform it. So how do you clear it? Invite in the angels. Ask the angels to help you see this for what it is. And get clear. Please don't start a lot of excuses. If you want to work with the angels, you cannot also at the same time be offering excuses about why not. So let's just pretend, and Jeff, play along with me. We're going to pretend that Jeff says, oh gosh, I would love to play at this gig on the Elvis estate. But, oh man, and then he starts with the excuses. Well, if he is being honest with himself and he has gone to the angels, or you can, when I say the angels, just understand that it is whatever energy feels good to you that exists in the energetic realm. This is not a religious application, although you can certainly use any religious figure that feels good to you. The only thing I don't want you to do is say that you cannot approach the energetic realm. Everyone has the ability to interact with the divine. You just have to understand that you can. Again, if you are not willing to receive that, you will not achieve it. You've got to be open to the possibility. But getting back to Jeff, so Jeff calls the angels in and says, "Angels, I need help. I can only see excuses instead of the opportunity to move forward." Now, there are a couple of ways that you can handle this. Angels, please show me if this is right for me. So, Jeff, let's just do that right now. Angels, we need clarification for Jeff. We want him to feel really confident about this gig that he's applied for, or I'm not quite sure what the musical term is. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So, angels, please create in Jeff a knowing whether this is for him or whether it's not for his highest good. Now, I want you to notice that we are not saying, please make it clear whether Jeff is good enough or isn't good enough. You're always good enough. It may not be for your highest good. Perhaps playing at this means that he can't be somewhere else that would be even better. So we don't approach the angels, "Am I good enough?" We ask them, "Please make it abundantly clear whether or not this is for my highest good." So, Jeff, I'm just going to ask you to go down, drop down into your heart, take a deep breath, allow your mind to clear, put all of your attention on your heart. And angels, would you please be kind enough to give Jeff some indication of whether or not working at the Elvis estate would be for his highest good? And now, Jeff, just tell us. You'll either feel something, hear something, or see something, and tell us what that is. What did you receive?
I came in from work the other day and was asking them to show me. And the minute that I get in from work, there's this opportunity here at Graceland. So the angels already showed me.
I've got tears.
Yes, that this is this is my deepest desire, and I felt like it was a guiding post for me, and it shows me in which direction they wanted me to go, in my career, you might say.
And when things are in alignment, I'm just going to interrupt you for a second so everybody stays with you. Let's notice what Jeff did here. He didn't tell the angels, he asked them for guidance. This is my deepest desire, to perform in public venues. Please show me the direction in which my talent can best be used, my skill, my gifts. Show me the ways in which they can best be used. We don't tell the energetic realm. We ask them to show us, and that's the way we partner. They see the big picture. We can only see our little corner of the world. They can see the whole thing. So learn not to be a dictator, instead to be a respectful supplicant. Ask them. Okay, go on, Jeff.
Yes. And I've been studying, and in the female type receiving wisdom lately, and I am receiving from my angels all this guiding light up to my feet, and they've been guiding me in this, and so I feel like that I needed to call you tonight.
And I am so glad that you did. And I just love this. They are guiding you. You are not dictating to them. And that is something that is so important, that it is guidance. It is not, they are not going to dictate to you, and you cannot dictate to them. You always have the choice to say, I'm not ready. And that's okay. But let's say that Jeff got a whole bunch of stuff coming up, a lot of negative self-talk that was coming up for him and telling him, oh, Jeff, you got to be kidding. You think you're good enough to play at Graceland?
Right.
When you have that, you have to understand that's the ego challenging you. Now, get a little realistic. If you've just started playing, it's not likely. Perhaps you came in with an incredible talent and you could pull it off. But
yes,
for most of us, it has taken years of study and practice and dedication in order to get to the place where we can consider ourselves professionals. So,
yes.
If the ego is challenging you in that way, so let's do a little role playing here, Joe. Jeff, I'll be your ego.
Yes.
So I'm going to be the ego, and Jeff, I want you to come back, and I'm going to push against you. Now, I don't want you to be defensive. I just merely want you, or maybe it might be better.
Yep.
You'll be the ego, and I'm going to show, rather than be defensive, rather than immediately jump into a state of anxiety, I want you to stay in a high place of love, joy, and peace, and just examine this. So go ahead, be the ego, and
yeah. Jeff, you know that you can't remember the words to those jazz songs, or much less the chord symbols in these very difficult pieces of music. So you're going to have to carry on stage the lyric and the chord symbols on a music stand. And you sort of, my ego says, I don't need to be carrying a music stand. I need to be memorizing all this. And then it has an argument. It says, well, you could take a computer up there and look a little more sophisticated, So there's little fights like that,
Okay, so here, I'm going to stay in, I'm going to be Jeff, and I'm going to stay in my high place, and I'll say, ego, I want to thank you. You really are bringing up some important points that I need to look at. I'm a professional. So, angels, I would like you to guide me into the solution that will make me look the best. Now, ego's going to say, oh, you want to look your best. Yes, you do. You're a professional, and part of what people are paying for is to get a show that is seamless, that is well put together, and that they enjoy listening to. So it is not ego when you put your best foot forward. It is really staying in alignment with your divine guidance, because you are here to be your best. to to constantly be stretching beyond. And when we allow ourselves to be sloppy and not do that, we are belittling ourselves and we're holding ourselves back. We're allowing ourselves to be small. So I want to challenge everyone to stretch into your brightest light. Don't just be a candle. Be a 5 million watt, megawatt light.
Yes, yes.
So, Jeff, you're going to ask the angels, I need to either not play those songs until I learn them well, or find a way that will allow me to be a consummate professional, to look and sound my best, because that's the person that I want to put forward. That's in alignment with my highest good. It's never in alignment with your highest good to play small. That's you hiding. God doesn't hide. And remember, when other people see us shining brightly, it encourages them to shine their brightest as well. So instead of getting defensive, oh, I knew I was no good. See, I can't even remember those words. I immediately said, that's a valid point.
Yes.
I want to look my best. I want to play my best. If I'm nervous about remembering the words, I may not be able to play. But at the same time, I really want to look professional. Angels, help me with a compromise. How can I make sure that I have access to the words and the chords if needed, but I still look professional? Well, people use teleprompters all the time. I'm sure there's some sort of thing like that you can figure out, or you can put those songs away and keep practicing them and not play them for this particular time if it's not possible for you to do that. But instead of retreating into a defensive place because the ego beat you, you stayed in your high place and realized, oh, this is a chance for me to be even brighter, to shine even more, because I'm not allowing myself to run away from growing, to being a better player, to being more. And that's the thing. When we go to an event, whether it's a family gathering or somewhere where we're performing, and we are relying on any kind of substance, whether it's drugs or alcohol, we are saying, me as I am is not good enough. The presence that I am is not enough. I must add to it with something artificial. And that's you playing small, because what you really need to do is do the work ahead of time to see yourself as more than enough and go in confident.
That's amazing. Yes, you're amazing. Yes.
So
you are.
Get those mental screens up. See that see yourself from the beginning of the call or the email or however they contact you. Jeff, we're delighted to let you know that we'd like you to play at Graceland, the Elvis Estate. Okay, now you don't just leave it there, because there's too many moving pieces that can go wrong. So you get a call from your family. You got to go to we're having Thanksgiving dinner. Be here at 6. You don't just see yourself walking in the door and then that's the end. No, you see yourself walking in the door and immediately feeling comfortable. You see yourself projecting love into the room. You see yourself having wonderful conversations and laughing and enjoying yourself and feeling a sense of belonging. Now, here's another thing that you can do. And this, Jeff, you can't do. because of the situation.
Yes.
But
Yes.
I do want to throw this out for those of you who are going to a family gathering. If you feel that you're getting overwhelmed, don't stand there and allow yourself to go down the tube. This is what I call taking a bathroom break. No one can argue with you if you say, "Oh, excuse me, I'll be right back. I need to use the facilities." They are not going to say, "Oh my gosh, you're just trying to run away." They have no idea whether you need to use the bathroom or not. So use it to your advantage. If you feel yourself getting overwhelmed, say that you're going to use the facilities, but if it's convenient and you can get outside, that may be even better. But then it may make you look like you don't tell the truth. So that could open up a can of worms. So be careful with that one. But at least get yourself into a private space and take time to breathe, recenter yourself, reground. You've let go of the grounding. For whatever reason, you got yourself knocked off your center point. Reground, renew, and refresh. Align with the divine and put your shielding back in place. So, Jeff, actually, the angels are giving me a way that you can do this. So let's say you make a mistake. You hit the wrong chord. Don't tense up. They are saying immediately ground. Just take a deep breath. Immediately send that energy into the ground, that energy of anxiety. Oh my gosh. Now I want to tense. If I tense up, it's just going to be more of a mess. So immediately from the heart, just send a line down into the renewal grid of the earth, that energy of revitalization. Allow that to come up through your feet into your heart. And from the divine, say, "Please help me.
Yes.
Please give me the peace of mind, the presence of mind that I need to get back in time and in tune and in the flow of this music."
Yes.
And allow them to flow back through your hands, through your voice, through whatever it is that's feeling a little off. And it can happen in a second. This doesn't have to be a big, elaborate practice. Just a minute, a breath, and just moving from the heart center down into the ground, connecting from the heart with the divine, and then allowing the divine and the presence of the mother energy of the earth to come back into your heart center, which is the place that everyone should be operating from.
Yes.
Here's another exercise that is so good for all of us. It doesn't matter really whether you're going out or not. Practice putting your attention on the heart center. Anytime that comes to mind, center on the heart and begin projecting your energy from the heart space. So instead of coming from the mind, allow the energy of the mind to go into the heart.
Yes.
And then send that energy, remembering that the heart is the largest energetic space in the body. So the little bit that you can send from the mind is completely eclipsed by the huge amount that you can send from the heart. So if you really want to make a difference, if you really want to manifest the desire that has come up in your awareness, it needs to be from a heart-centered place. Now, the other thing that we want to make sure that we're doing is have heart-mind agreement. So the mind may be saying, "I really want to work at Graceland. I want to get this gig." And yet the heart if it's not cleared and healed and you haven't transformed the pain into energy of the divine, the heart may be saying, I can't even wish for that. I want it so much that if it doesn't happen, I would be destroyed. Well, now the heart and the mind are not working in harmony. They're not synchronized. And you're going to find a way to self-sabotage, because the heart, which is the strongest energetic body, is going to rule the day. So we always have to check in with the heart. The mind formulates the idea, hey, I heard about this gig. Ooh, I think I've practiced and trained, and I think I'm ready. Okay, I'm really excited.
Yeah.
I can do this. But that's not enough, because if the heart is saying, what kind of nonsense are you cooking up here, Jeff? You're going to find a way to derail it. So let's just check with you and take a moment again.
Okay.
And take a minute to close your eyes. Deep breath, just relaxing into a state of peace. And now bring the thought into your mind, I'm going to be playing at Graceland. And with that thought in your mind, check in with your heart and see if there's any resistance.
None whatsoever, no.
Excellent. So now just get prepared.
There's little,
to play.
Yeah, there's small little details that need to be worked out, but just very small,
Get busy on those details. Start acting as if it's tomorrow.
Right.
And get those details worked out. Get every possible thing as smooth as you can enable it to be.
Absolutely.
And keep
checking
in with your
Yes.
Keep checking in with your heart. The mind says, I want this thing. Heart should say, go get it. I'm with you. If heart is giving you any kind of pushback, you need to clear and heal that. It's pushing back because it feels that you're going to be hurt, or you've been hurt in the past and it wants to bring it forward to protect you. So honor your heart and do what you need to do to clear and heal. Your heart will love you for it.
Yes.
Just like I love you.
Thank
and now,
you.
We are out of time, so happy Thanksgiving. I hope you have a wonderful time with your family. And if you want to take a minute at that dinner and just say, hey, I could really use some support. I need to play this really difficult song in front of people. I need to be able to play it, not just for the angels, but for real people, and feel what it feels like to kind of be on it, to be and
be on it.
Do it, practice in that way, and also invite them to help you in that manifestation process. I want everybody everybody add your energy to seeing me be playing in Graceland. There's this incredible gig. Everybody, just if you feel that you can't be confident, then please don't do anything. Just stay neutral. But if you can get on board with me, please add your energy to mine and help me see myself performing on the Elvis estate.
Yes. Oof.
I'm going to add my energy to yours, so let me know. I already know it's going to be amazing.
It's not until May anyway, so May.
So you've got plenty of time to practice.
That's
and
right.
Arrange for some smaller things where you can play those really hard pieces and make a few mistakes and figure out how you can get around those things that are difficult, or improve your skills so that it's like a no-brainer.
Yeah, that's it, a no-brainer. You want it no-brainer, yeah. That's what
And
you
honestly, everyone who's just learning, no one gets there overnight. Please understand. It is your continued dedication and practice that bring you the rewards. Very few people, I'm sure there's 1 in a million person who can just do it instantly. But the majority of us have really had to work at it. So if you are at a point where you're struggling with something, please don't give up. Your success is on the other side of this struggle. So please. All right, everyone. Thank you, Jeff. This was really fun. Happy Thanksgiving to all.
Yeah, Jay. Thank you.
And we've got to go. So everyone, I want to thank you for being here. I want you to have the most wonderful holiday. And if you're not celebrating the holiday, have the most beautiful week ever. And just know that you are loved just as you are. If you need additional support, please go to my website. It's marciamartinthehearthealer.com. Marcia spelled Marcia. There are many free resources there. There are classes. There are all sorts of ways in which you can deepen your relationship with the divine. And if you desire it, you can receive it. They do wait for you to come to them and to ask them, but then they open the floodgates of heaven and give you your heart's desire. So until next week, I want to thank you all. I'm sending all my love, and I appreciate you all so much.
You've been listening to another fabulous program on Angel Heart Radio. Our goal is to remind you of how much you matter in the world and to let you know that we appreciate who you are in the world. You can check out who's on, when we're on, and who our guests are at angelheartradio.com. Everything is there. It's all just one click away. Angel Heart Radio programs are powerful tools to help you in your life and your life experience. They are not intended, nor should they, be used to replace your medical or legal advice. The views expressed by hosts, co-hosts, callers, guests, and associates should not be construed as advice from Angel Heart Radio.